Holy man, they should just call this game like Janitor Game or something. I spend more time mopping the floor to get the vomit off than I do anything else. Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to Chaos and Misery. We're back in Oxygen Not Included, and my colony is not going all the best. After the last video, I decided to keep playing for a little while, thinking I could take care of a couple of little housekeeping items, be ready for the next video. Well, the next thing I knew, everything just went all to chaos. Everyone was puking everywhere. I had people just constantly smashing things. The stress level was 100% for 5 out of 6 of the duplicants. And worst of all, we've seen an end of a chair. He unfortunately stranded himself while he was down here mining some algae, and I couldn't get this tile built in time for him to be able to jump back and save himself. He built it at the last second after I told him to do it. He stood there for a while and waited until another duplicant came down. Maybe he didn't have the resources, and they delivered the resources for him. He built the block, and then he keeled over. So we were down to 5 duplicants. I let another one in. I just named that one Zombie for now. I was trying to do like Zombie Rocket Gamer, because Zombie Rocket Gaming, because he was the first tragic casualty of this particular colony. But when I kicked out of the name, it saved what I typed so far, and I couldn't change it again. So anyway, I have somebody there named Zombie now, but I do want to get some more subscriber names in here if we bring in some more duplicants. I just sort of did it on the fly, not thinking about it, but a few changes that I made in here in order to deal with some stuff. So I cut through the hole, or cut a hole in the floor over here to let some of the vomit pool down here, which is just super lovely. And contaminated water hiding down here. I was thinking I might kind of cut it all the way down here so it would just drop in. I was trying to make use out of this little gas system that I set up in the last video down in this little corner. But what happens is that when they opened up the manual airlock, I ended up losing all the pressure in here. So it's now down to 28 grams of pressure. So it went from like kilograms of pressure down to like 28 grams, which means that this pump is largely useless. There's not any fumes coming off of this because there's a skim of water laying over top of the contaminated water, which seems to be keeping the fumes down. Which, incidentally, if there's ever a point where I want to control the fumes coming off the contaminated water, that seems like a pretty good solution. Just pump some regular water on top of it, because the contaminated water always seems to go to the bottom. So, nevertheless, things have not been doing all that well. If we look at our gas setup, we still have a decent amount of blue showing here, and we've got some very nicely breathable air in some areas. This went really, really bad for a while, but we ended up digging really far down here. I think at the end of the last video, we were only somewhere in this region. Now that we have a corpse laying down here, though, poor little chair, or a chair rather, we've got these little morbs hanging out, and the morbs are producing contaminated oxygen, which is kind of flowing up. I have a couple of air deodorizers here that are scrubbing, but I kind of need to take care of what's up here. I'm kind of wondering if I could make use of these morbs. I mean, it's really sad that chair is laying dead down here on the ground, or a chair. I keep messing that up. But with morbs here, you know, they're letting out this contaminated oxygen. And I'm not sure how much of it they produce, but we might actually be able to leave the body sitting here, sadly. I'm in a gravestone, but they haven't put anything in. We might be able to leave his body sitting here for a little while. And it might actually turn into like an oxygen production system for me, because he, this is really morbid. These guys are producing the contaminated oxygen, so if I can purify it and then funnel it with a gas pump, then we might be able to use it. But that's not going to be my first go-to. Let's see how we have things prioritized here quickly, just to know where we stand. So I decided not to build this ladder down here for now. I can deal with that later. This is full of contaminated water and stuff also that kind of fell. I've got contaminated water that went in here. I had to build some flooring across and put some little blocks to try to block off the vomit, because it was actually piling up in all the hallways, and it was really, really bad. like really bad. I thought the colony was going to die for sure. But it seems like so far they've survived. What I want to do now, I think, though, is try to leverage what I have up here maybe a little bit, and try to use some... I conceivably could use some of this contaminated oxygen to help with providing oxygen for the rest of the colony, or I could use the contaminated water and try to use a hydrogen system to be able to try and produce some oxygen and some power. So I'm not sure exactly which way I want to go just yet. Initially, I think what I want to do is try to get the rest of the vomit cleaned up here, and then we'll see if we can get the stress level down so that people stop breaking things, because that's the biggest problem. You know, oh, look at that, the massage machine's still going. There's nobody on it. Let's get Spazzy and Dark Souls in here. Timmy, I guess, is getting high on there. Who's that? Oh, no, wait. Oh, drat. I just assigned somebody to a bed, I think. Oh, no, they went to bed. It's nighttime. The way I have these spaced out a couple times, I've unfortunately clicked on... Where are we here? I've unfortunately clicked on a bed and then assigned somebody to it, thinking I was assigning somebody to the massage table, but just basically messing it all up. Let's get everyone on a massage table here at first, and we'll just have a mass push towards lowering the stress. You can see it's as low as 21 with Dark Souls there. We've got a few people that are still on the high on the list. Let's get everyone on the massage table, though. We already have coal power generators that are producing power. I do need some bigger batteries I should put in place to try to store this, because I think I'm wasting a lot of coal power here. And that should be something I kind of prioritize, too. There's all the morbs. They're going down here to... What are they grabbing? More algae? Yeah, I think they're still grabbing algae out of this pit here, but now we've got 3 morbs running around, and the contaminated oxygen here is really flowing. Fortunately, it's getting to this point here, and then it's getting held up. And we can see that the gas pressure is kind of holding steady. It's not really rising. I bet you if I sealed the door here, then we probably would actually see a rise in pressure. And I think maybe that might be a good idea. Let's just put a door in there just to be on the safe side of things. I think I want to use the mechanized airlock this time. I've been using the manual one all the time, but the mechanized one does seem to move a lot faster, so I think we're going to try and use that. Let's run some electrical cord. This might take a little bit, so... No, you know what? We'll run it down the ladder here, and we'll run it across. Down this ladder. And into here. And I'm going to prioritize that at like an 8, so they kind of get to that after they're finished with their massages. They still haven't built this air purifier here, but we'll have to deal with what we can, I guess, and then just make do for the rest. All right, so I want to kind of seal that in because I'm a little bit worried that the amount of contaminated air that's going to build up down here is going to start to push up a little bit higher. It's drifting out a tiny bit, but it's not bad. Could definitely be a lot worse. How's our stress level? 80%. Something's not working here. Timmy, where are you, boy? Okay, Timmy's on the massage table, so that should help him. We got Dark Souls on the massage table. We've got Spazzy on the massage table. This one is empty. Why is that empty? Stuff and more stuff should be on here. There's stuff and more stuff. He's on a table. Dr. Get Wrecked and Dark Souls. I guess we should see if we can get Dr. Get Wrecked on. Oh, he's already assigned to this one. It's set as high level, so we'll see what happens. In terms of our filtration stuff, we've got about 819 kilograms of algae, so that's going to run out relatively quickly. There is still more way down here in this lower corner, but I don't know that I'm going to have an easy way to get to it. Particularly now that I have all this crazy contaminated business going on in here. I suppose I could run people over and try to dig through here, but I'm really worried about their oxygen when they get down here, because they're getting right down into the contaminated stuff. It's all carbon dioxide and contaminated air down here. I mean, we've got a nice buffer pocket here that's sort of stopping it because we had a triple air deodorizer, which is good and all, but, it's certainly not ideal. I think what I want to do today, though, is try to make use of this stuff. Try to do something useful with all this contaminated water and contaminated oxygen that we have over here. I mean, there's a pretty high amount of pressure in here, but... So I'm thinking what I'll do is... let's build a ladder to get up there first, I guess. That's probably step number 1. Where should I put the ladder? Should I just extend it up here and then over, maybe? I think that might be good, because then we can make use of a variety of stuff here. I want to get just above the water line with it. So we're going to need to dig all this. And we're going to need to dig all the way over to here. I don't want to get too close initially, because I want to set up some sort of an airlock to try to keep the pressure inside here if I can manage it. And actually, we'll set this at maybe... Priority 8 as well. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. Priority 8. There we go. So hopefully they'll tackle that soon. The stress is coming down at least. Timmy's the highest at 69%. And then Zombie, he's our new guy. Even the new guy is getting really stressed. He jumped in here when the moment he arrived, he was at 5% stress. I don't know if it was a rough ride or he just realized exactly what he was in for the moment he got here, but it wasn't pretty. Things are not looking good down here with this body, though. Oh, look, there's little bugs flying around it now. We're getting a really good collection of morbs down there, though. Actually, this might work out oddly good for us. Sorry, a chair. I mean, I didn't mean for you to die. It was kind of an accident, but it might work out well, We got a food shortage. Oh, no, stress vomiting. Oh, God. Where are we here? Oh, you're going to vomit down there. All right. I'm okay with that. You can keep the vomit down there. That's not really a big deal. I don't have a vomit collection system, so I guess that's probably the best place for it. Food shortage. What do we got going on food here-wise? No, we're cooking as much as we can. See, the trouble was I put Dark Souls on the massage table. That was a problem. I think some of the stress vomiting happened over here, because there's vomit everywhere. I thought he vomited down below. All right. Let's try to get this cleaned up, guys. We can't get our stress level down if we can't get the vomit down. Ugh, gross. Oh, okay, you're mopping the bottom portion, but it's still pouring from above. Somebody get this stuff. Timmy, stress going up. Timmy ran off back down to that contaminated area. Oh, gosh, look at all the morbs. Holy cow, they're just piling up now. They're attracted to dead bodies, which is, just tells you how wonderful and lovely they are. Hopefully Timmy doesn't get sick down here playing with these guys. I really want to get some sort of a shower set up here. That's going to help lower their stress a lot, too, because they can finally get clean. They haven't been clean since they arrived, and that's, I don't know about you, but I kind of like taking a shower every now and then. And these guys just aren't getting the chance to do that. So I think maybe, I don't know, I really want to focus on this, but maybe that whole shower system should probably be priority number one. Let's look into the plumbing. All right, so our shower takes 1,000 gallons of water. 1,000 gallons per second, anyway. Sends out contaminated water. Yada, yada, yada. All right, nothing crazy there. So if we take the... take our shower here, I guess. And then if we go into our... Where is it here? Refinement. Then we can take our water purifier. And we can make a bit of a circular system here, I think. This is going to take a lot of piping, because we're going to need to move water up from below. Let me pause this for a second so I don't lose track of what these guys are up to. They're in barf territory. And Timmy is, well, fortunately he's back on the table, so that's good. Sleeping and relaxing on the massage table. That's interesting. Okay. In the plumbing, we have our liquid pipes. We want to run these. Oh, gosh. That's going to be a lot of piping. All right. So we're going to run the pipe all the way up here. Hopefully this doesn't... whoops. Hopefully this doesn't compromise. Come on. There we go. It's a long route. You can get there. Holy. Gosh, that took forever. All right, and then we'll run the pipe over here. No, we won't. We'll run the pipe more directly like this, so that I can take this one and go back to here. Gosh, I don't know if this is going to work at all. And then let's get the power going in here. Send over some electrical wiring, because we're going to need that for our purifier at the very least. I'm going to prioritize this whole thing as a 9. Because these guys, I think these guys deserve a shower at this point. They've proven themselves. They're still alive after this much time, which is more than Rocket Gaming and a chair can say. No offense, guys. So, at least they should at least get a chance to get clean. They're 51 cycles in and they haven't had a shower, so I can see why they're a little stressed. Holy man, they should just call this game like Janitor Game or something. I spend more time mopping the floor to get the vomit off than I do anything else. I really should set up some sort of a system where I can make use of this, but it's funny, like for all the vomiting they've been doing, even in the areas where it's pooling up, I'm not really getting all that much of it. It just kind of, like when it's on the floor, man, does it ever spread out, but when you get it into a concentrated place, it doesn't really seem to do as much. I don't know why that is. Timmy, buddy, you're still at 49% stress. Where'd you go? You're not on the table. That should be priority number 1 for you. Fortunately, these are turned off. I'm not wasting that energy there. Oh, and I did finish off the research. So I got rid of the 2 research tables in the supercomputer. And that seemed to make a really significant difference in my energy requirement. So I'm going to disable one of these coal-powered generators because I don't really need it right now. And I think it would be nice to get some battery power in here, just to do some extra storage, because I've got the smaller batteries over there, but I don't know how much they really store. So I think it would be a good idea maybe just to have this. Now, I'm gonna have to run the wiring for these down from above, because if I go from below, then they'll be on that same switch that controls the pump below, and I don't want that. Hello, what's going on? There we go. Jeez. Okay, we'll get that taken care of. Let's set that as a priority. I don't know, priority 8, I guess. So we can get some extra power storage. They keep beating up on the batteries over here, so it might even be a good idea to put a locked door on here that they can't get through. Just because it would give me the ability to seal them away from the batteries, and then they can't damage them if they decide to go on a little bit of a freak out. Stress is finally coming down. I mean, when I had 5 out of 6 people at 100% stress, that was brutal. They were breaking stuff like every 20 seconds. So a combination of throwing up on the floor and breaking things, no one was getting happy because they were stepping in vomit all the time. It was not a good time to be in my base. Fortunately, we got most of that cleaned up. A little bit of vomit sitting here, but you know, I think we can deal with that. And then on top of that, when a chair passed away, that really made things even worse. So we're getting a really heavy concentration of gas down here now. I'm a little torn. I think I kind of like this. Hopefully this can build up and we'll get some decent pressure in here, because I'd really like to use that air. But I need to get this door on here. We're never going to get any air pressure. It's really hard. Like, I find that you're like constantly trying to prioritize everything at the top priority because you want everything done at the same time, but you just don't have enough people to do it all. All right, cycle 52 is just wrapping up. All the little duplicates are going to bed, and actually the air has become a problem again. We were having a buildup of carbon dioxide because we've run out of algae to run the algae deoxidizer. This is a never-ending story. So I've set up a little pathway down here that I want them to kind of go over and harvest a little bit more algae, but that's not going to carry them very far. And again, I mean, this is working down here a little bit, though the resources are low. We have some good breathable air in here, but the air pressure is not really high enough that we can really consider pumping it out just yet. And actually, the air pressure that's being created is forcing some of this contaminated oxygen up into this area. Over here is really the worst of it, because there's just no supply of air going on over there. Looks like we need to harvest a little bit, so we should probably queue up some of that. And then you guys need to sweep, so we can get the actual food going. Our calories are getting significantly better. They're at 23,500, so I'm gonna shut this down to a lower priority, so they can focus on things that are going to be more critical, which is namely, let's get some air going in here, because it's not happening right now. There we go. They're finally starting to build out what we need them to get over here and grab some algae. They're hanging out in some pretty contaminated air, though. Like, that's really toxic stuff they're standing in, so I don't think they're going to be able to hang out down here for very long before they have to run for the hills. Come on, guys. There's all kinds of algae right here if you can just get to it. I might even risk breaking into this hydrogen just to get to the lower algae that's over here, because we really need it right now. I need to figure out a better way to supply oxygen. Oh, we have our bathroom built. Hey, look at that. Empty pipe for the shower. What's going on here with the piping? Liquid pipe. Oh. Well, that's weird. We got sort of like a pressure problem or something. It's getting stuck like right here and it's not moving. That's really weird. Okay. Well, no one can take a shower until the water gets up there. We did all the trouble to build that, and then no one can't use it. That's awesome. What are we gonna do here? Let's take it on the liquid pump, I guess. And we can set it over here. Hopefully that's out of the contaminated water. And then we're going to need electrical wiring to get down there so that we can plug it in. Bloop. And then we're going to need plumbing in the form of liquid piping to go up and join with this pipe. And then I think I'm just going to deconstruct this whole segment of pipe here because it's clearly not doing what I need it to. So we'll go here into liquid pipes under destroy. I wish I could see what I was doing. It doesn't really show you. I've got one more spot to go there. So back to destroy, liquid pipes. Right there. Okay, now prioritize. Let's set this as a 9 because that's how I had the rest of it set. Please, oh please, tell me this is going to work. Everything I need you to do, you guys all have to do it all at priority 9 and need to do it right now. That's just how it's going to have to be. This is terrible. We can't have everything priority 9. Nothing gets done. You just start to end up doing a whole bunch of random tasks anyway. You don't really get any priority. What's he going to go break? They seem to like the batteries. Oh, no, he's beating on the... yeah, because that's right. You know, when you're having low oxygen, that's exactly what you want to be breaking is your air supply. Good job stuffing more stuff. I'll put somebody to repair that now. Well, it looks like our shower's working. Spazzy's in the shower, finally getting clean. He's the first one to wash all the filth off. And he's got really high stress. I was kind of hoping that would help his stress level, but it doesn't seem to have done a lot for him. Oh, he's going to take 2 showers. Oh, no, he didn't finish. I see it. Now that he's showered, he's going to go to a massage. Good job, buddy. No, we got someone else in the shower now. Who's in there now? Can't tell. Zombies in there. We're getting a zombie cleaned. Okay, so they can finally get clean for the first time ever, and I don't see anything happening with my pump over here. What's going on with this? Let's check the plumbing and make sure that we've got stuff happening here. It looks like, yeah, it looks like we definitely have stuff set up there properly. I think we can actually destroy one of these pipes here now, and it will still work in its own closed system. So let's go to the liquid pipes, and we'll destroy one right there. And then we'll just check and make sure that that's still going to work. I think it does. I mean, I don't know. It may require actual water pressure for the shower to work. I don't know how that works exactly. Okay, everyone's back in bed, and I was just checking down here in this little area where I have it sealed off now, and it looks like now that the door is closed off, we are definitely getting some pressure buildup inside here, which means that we probably do have an opportunity to set up a pump down here that we can draw some of this air out. There's pretty clean air in here, even with all this contaminated stuff going on down here. It's all flowing up this way, getting scrubbed in my little air deodorizers, and then it's moving on, and I'm actually getting a pressure buildup. Now the trouble is, every time they go through this mechanized airlock, we lose a little bit of pressure, I think. Right in front of it, we got a little bit of it flows out, but it goes pretty fast. So I like it better than the manual airlock, I think, because they can go in and out of it really quick, and I don't seem to lose air. I mean, I would expect to be seeing some over here, but it's not really happening. So for the most part, we're getting good pressure buildup inside here, and that's just exactly what I want to see. So let's try and take advantage of that now. So I was going to set up some stuff up here. Let's take this to a lower priority. That's priority 8. So I think it'll be okay for now. They have a shower they can be happy with. I want to actually put toilets up here too, so that they're... Is anybody using this anymore? I can't tell whether they've just kind of all gotten clean. No, he's grimy. He's clean. He's apparently grimy. Who's that? Stuff and more stuff we have on there. He still needs to stay on the massage table. I want someone to go and use the shower. I can't set a priority on that, though. They just sort of take care of it when they need to, I guess. The same as the bathroom. Oh, look at the bubbling going on here. Slow things down for a second here and take a look at what's happening. The morbs are going crazy. We've still got a chair's body down here. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Even though I put this this tasteful memorial here, they've chosen the non-tasteful route in favor of their own survival. Every time they go in here, they're leaving some carbon dioxide behind too, which I'm not really thrilled about, because they don't have a scrubber set up in here to take care of that. All right, so we're getting like 530. It's hanging pretty steady now at 530. All right, let's pull the trigger on this. I'm going to set up in here a gas pump similar to what we had over here. So what do I want to move? I want it to move air, but I don't want any contaminated air getting through. So we're going to set... we go into plumbing, and we look under gas pump. Now, that's the thing with the gas pump is it doesn't actually have to be sitting on a surface. You can put it anywhere you want it to be. So you don't have to have a floor or anything for it. I mean, obviously, they have to be able to reach it to set it up. But so I'm going to set the gas pump, say... I don't know, we'll set it like around here somewhere. We're going to need some gas piping, which hopefully can go through this door without any issue. Where do I want to send this now? Oh, you know what? I could actually just send it up here, I guess. So let's go this way. We'll pump it right up to the middle of the base again, same as I was doing already. I'll get rid of this. We need electricity, so we're going to need to go down to power, electrical wire. And we'll run that over like so. And I made a mistake. I need to have... In the plumbing, I want to make sure we're getting just the oxygen, so I need to filter the other portion out. So let's take the gas filter, which will not fit here. That's amazing. Arg. What am I going to do with that? You know what? For now, let's not worry about a gas filter. It's all sitting in oxygen anyway. So it should pump all oxygen, hopefully. As long as we keep these stocked up with sand, then it should never really get to a point where there's contaminated oxygen up there. So let's hope everything goes well that way. We'll prioritize all this. Let's get this done sooner rather than later because we really need the air. This is crazy. Hopefully this works, because if it does, it should help. It should help a fair amount with some of the air problems. The pressure down here is not great though, so I don't think it's going to be able to pump all the time, and that's going to be the problem. Our duplicates have been hard at work, and it looks like they're just about to finish out the piping that we need to get this ventilation system pumping air up to here. Hopefully when they connect the last of these pipes, this thing will kick in, We'll actually start to see some air movement finally. I haven't seen anyone using the shower, so I'm going to reconnect the water pipe here just to check and see whether it's a case of the water needs to be pumping in there in order for them to use it. Hopefully, I can use it just as a closed system between the two items, because this one produces 1,000 gallons per second of wastewater, and this one consumes it. So, oh, there's our pump now. It's going like crazy. Just pumping like mad in there. Let's see what's... Oh, look at the airflow there moving. It's going to go all the way. It's going to take a while to get up there, but once it gets up there, we should get a flow of air in the middle of the base. Now, these things move a serious amount of air in a short amount of time, so the air that's around it is going to get thin really quick. So hopefully, as it draws up more of this contaminated air, because the air will get thinner up here, and then the pressure should force the contaminated air up this way, and then these scrubbers can do some work and get it taken care of. I really do want to get some sort of a filter put in there, too. There we go. Look at that nice air flowing out. How's it look on the gas map? Nice. Okay, we're getting some good air in the middle of the base now, and hopefully that will help force some of the carbon dioxide down, because things are looking really dirty around here. But that gives us some kind of ventilation, and sad as it is, with the number of morbs that are collecting down here, we might actually end up with a decent supply of contaminated oxygen just coming out of all these guys, and we may be able to scrub it and send it up there just to keep a steady flow of air. Oh boy, the pressure's like really, really low here, though. Like, it dropped fast. It's still a decent amount of pressure down here, but what I'm going to have to be on the lookout for is the contaminated air getting all the way up to the point where it's at the pump, because it gets past these things, and then that's going to be an issue, and I'll have to make sure I have some kind of a filter on here. For the moment, though, we were able to capture some air and clean things up in the middle of our base without having to put a filter on that, so that's good. Still nobody's using the shower. You guys are a pretty unhygienic lot, considering you went like 50 days without a shower, and then I finally put one in, and like 2 of you showered and no one else did. That's just crazy. I don't know if it's because they're just hanging out on the massage table. We got Timmy over here. Timmy, you're at 40%. And Zombie, who is sitting at 40% also. Insufficient resources. Ladder? Wait, no. There is no way we ran out of materials for a ladder. That's crazy. I must have been using the wrong material. Let's try to make something reasonable with a ladder, and we'll use... Oh, I was using like... What was I using? Granite. Who needs a granite ladder? That's crazy. Somebody's wheezing. Alright, stress is still high, but I think we've made some good progress this time around. We do have some flow of oxygen coming out of here. Sad as it is that a chair passed away, we're getting a flow of oxygen, and it's not high pressure air or anything, but it is a flow of air that's coming out, and it's keeping breathable oxygen in the middle of the base, and it's not something that seems to be... It doesn't seem to be something that's going to be a limited supply in the near term, so... I mean, we might have helped bridge the gap in our oxygen problem just by using poor chair's body down there to attract some morbs. That's really morbid. That's, I guess, maybe why their names are Morb. I don't know. Alright, since the airflow was going pretty well into the middle of the base, I decided to extend the ventilation system all the way over to their living quarters, because the air over here has been really poor. So it looks like it takes... It's not exactly even. It seems to kind of do one then the other. It alternates a little bit, but sometimes it'll go a couple in a row. But now we're getting some flow of that air that's being created down here all the way into their living quarters. And while it's not really high pressure, good quality air, it's certainly an improvement over the nothing they were getting. So the air pressure over here is really rough, but it is climbing now that we have that going over there. So, I mean, that's something. We'll see if this does anything to help clean it up and force some of the carbon dioxide down lower, because we really need it to all come marching down to the bottom here where we can scrub it out. Alright, things are definitely taking a turn for the worse. Even with this pump down here going, I've depleted all the air that's down here. There's like nothing. There's no pressure at all, so I'm not really pumping anything up here. This is entirely filling up with carbon dioxide now. I should probably disable one of those... Oh, 5, 6 of them suffocating. They're all going to wind up dying because there's just no air. There's like virtually no pressure here. This is not going well at all. I was hoping to get them up here to cut in so I could get another supply of oxygen, but it's just taking too long. And they're running around frantically, but I think I'm going to wind up with a whole bunch of dead duplicants on my hands any moment now. Oh, there it is. 2 duplicants have died. Oh, no. This is going to go really, really south now. 3 duplicants dead. Oh, this is the end of our base. We made it to cycle 58, but everything's crashing and burning now. And there's a couple things here that I think I've figured out that I want to try and use in future colonies. So we'll start a new one out, I guess, because this whole population is going to be dead, and that's just going to be no good. I solved a few different problems, but none of the problems really colony lost. Ah, they died. No. So a few different things there that I think I definitely want to get on top of a little bit sooner is trying to get alternative air supplies. As soon as I run out of algae, like things can be running along really nice and smooth, but then you run out of algae and everything goes downhill super fast, and then it's just a constant panic to try to play catch up. So I think in the next colony, I'm going to try and get into that contaminated gas sooner. I'm trying to make use of that. It's a shame because I had that whole morb thing going on there, but I just didn't have enough time to let it kind of build up the pressure that it needed to provide much of a solution. If you could get 2 areas like that going where you could alternate, like turn the switch on in one area and get the cleaned up air to pump through until it gets to low pressure, and have the other one turned off so it builds pressure, and then kind of alternate back and forth, I think we might actually be able to get a bit of an air supply going that's slightly more sustainable. I also didn't get into the hydrogen system at all, which I intended to do. Maybe we'll focus on that in our next base. See if we can use something that way a little bit better. So a couple of missteps here, I think, and then, I stumbled, fell behind, and then the colony's gone just like that. Like all of them just boom, just dead in a moment. All 6 of them just died in like, what was that, like 10 seconds? All of them, yeah. So this has been fun. I hope you enjoy these. You'll come back and check out some more. I'm definitely going to build up a new colony because I'm really addicted to this game lately. There's something about the challenge of it and like constantly vying for a new solution and stuff that really drives me. But I hope you enjoy these. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.